Hi, so my name is Carter Mack, and today I'm going to tell you about social media and emergency management. To start us off, it's 74% of all internet users are currently using social networking sites, and that is worldwide. There's just a constant influx of data. It is amateur reporting. There's information coming in and going out all the time. And social media can be used by emergency managers to do the same thing, both to obtain information and to disperse the information. So to look at that a little deeper, here are the 5 levels of use that FEMA recognizes as levels of use for emergency managers. That's monitor, which is a one-way communication coming inward, just gathering information. Command, which is a one-way communication going outward, just dispersing information. Conversation is the beginning of a two-way conversation, engaging the users, kind of steering a conversation. Cooperate is the 4th level, and that is doing some crowdsourcing type things. And then collaborate is going to be the 5th level, and that is file sharing, wikis, things like that. Okay, so they're traditional social networks. That's your Twitter, that's your Facebook, things that everybody recognizes. These can both be used for both preparedness and response. Preparedness on the Twitter side has ReadyGov, and that's also on the Facebook side. And this is used to disperse information, tips and tips of information on preparedness for hurricane season, winter, whatever it may be that is coming up at the time. Now, as far as response goes, Twitter has what is called Twitter Alerts, and Twitter Alerts send out an SMS or a push notification to smartphone users to alert them when there is a crisis in their area. Now, they have to have their geospatial locator on, but it is a great thing that you can have, and you can sign up for that as well. Now, Facebook, you can use it as a main point of contact. If all of the lines of communication are down, the emergency manager can set up the Facebook page and use that to get in contact with all members of the public very easily. Ushahidi is an interesting thing. It is actually a big thing that's being used by emergency managers right now. If you look at the picture here, it gives you a good explanation. That is a crowdsourced map of human rights violations across the globe. And it's an interactive map. You can see on the right-hand side, you can separate it by violation, harm face, technology platform. All categories is what I have it on right now. But it's crowdsourced mapping is kind of what Ushahidi does, as well as live reporting from that map platform. Now, CrowdMap is another product that Ushahidi has. CrowdMap is maps for all sorts of different things. It currently is being used for a lot of emergency resource maps. CrisisNet is a beta-tested thing right now that actually is going to be a main platform that has all the data you need only about crises going on or that have already happened. And then Swift River is currently being used by emergency managers to filter and monitor results, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But that first to see that you see right there is actually it's already being used by First to See, which is an emergency management group up in the Puget Sound, and we'll get into that later on. Now, Geophedia is another really cool thing. You can draw a map onto whatever kind of Google Map platform that you have, and it will show you all social media posts in that area. Now, you can filter that so that you can see only certain keywords or hashtags or things like that. And this helps you break community volunteer data into community volunteer information. VOSTs are a brand new thing. They were formed in 2011. They stand for Virtual Operations Support Team, and it is almost like a virtual emergency operations center where there are people who are in charge of verifying information they find online, streamlining information, both monitoring information and sending out information using these social network platforms. And FSU actually has one. As you can see, that's the logo for it, the FSU VOST. So it is just a very cool social networking EOC type of thing. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to using social media when you're an emergency manager. The advantages are that you stay ahead of the public. You can thwart rumors as they are happening. You can gather information from the public, and you can send out those alerts, like Twitter alerts and things like that. Disadvantages would be that CVI can be hard to obtain, but that's what Swift River and some of these other things like CrisisNet are trying to solve. But also, it can be time consuming. You might need a full-time employee to come in and take over that position. Now, growth. If you look on the right-hand side, you see that social media has grown pretty much 100% since the beginning of February of 2005. Now, social media will always, or will continue to grow. And so there's things being tested right now. We talked about Swift River, we talked about CrisisNet, and we talked about some of the traditional social network upgrades that are going on. So this is definitely a field to get into now. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you learned something today.